So this is my first attempt at any kind of gameplay video, so bear with me. I've been playing a lot of Space Engineers lately. This is an indie game that has basically the feel of Minecraft, but with physics and the ability to build any kind of spaceship that you want. It really is amazing. So what I've done here is I've built a ship to deal with all the excess stone that you end up with in the game. A lot of times you have so much stone you're just trying to get rid of it, and so you find creative ways to dump it off. Well, I have found a reason that you never want to throw any stone away again. I call this the stone shotgun. Basically, you slap a whole bunch of connectors on the front of the thing, and those will allow you to eject the stone. Then you stick a whole bunch of gravity generators behind them, pointing in that direction, and that essentially turns all that dumped off stone into a projectile. Put your cockpit in the middle so that you can aim it, and then put a whole bunch of thrusters on there so you can control the thing. A giant cargo container on the back will hold your stone, and then of course that's wired into all of these conveyors that are transferring the stone to the ejectors. So that's the basic premise. Now let's see what it looks like in action. So first thing you got to do is you got to turn on your gravity, and then your cannons are actually all of these connectors. So I've set those up using a block group. Now I'm going to turn my block off for now, turn on the collect all, that will pull it from the cargo container, and then the throw out, which will put it in front of those gravity generators. So we're going to look around for our target here. So let's start with the small ships and see what kind of damage it'll do there. You'll actually also get to see what kind of devastation this thing can do to a platform. So all you got to do, come into your cannon, turn it on. And it's just going to start lobbing all that stone out there, and like I said, this is going to look really overpowered, but you have to keep in mind the sheer amount of stone that you have to collect to use this, even in survival mode, is just going to take a phenomenal amount of time. And plus the resources to build this thing are ridiculous. So this is going to be kind of an end-game type of defense weapon. You can actually use it on offense, as I'll show you in a bit, but it is, like I said, just amazingly powerful. So let's turn that off. And now we're going to look at what kind of damage we can do to a major ship. Now imagine you've got an enemy that's griefing your base, and he's coming in with a very large ship like this. Imagine just how upset he's going to be if you've got this thing that you've been loading up for weeks with stone, and then suddenly you can just cut his ship in half, and there's nothing he can do to get away from it. Like I said, this is going to seem overpowered, but the only reason it does is because of the sheer amount of stone that you have to collect to put in it, as well as the amount of resources you have to use to build it. So you can see we're making a pretty short work of this ship. If you wanted to target specific systems, you could do that. I'm just trying to cut it in half because that's fun. And we've succeeded in doing that in just a few seconds. So, now when you're using it on the offense, I've purposely moved the blue antenna, the default ship that comes with the easy load, about 3,000 meters out. So that thing's so far away, there is no way that it could ever see this ship. So I'm going to aim at that as well as I can from here, and we're going to kick that on and see what happens. So I'm going to run out there and join it. Try not to get hit by the stone here. And I've also pointed the blue antenna directly at the base to make the smallest target possible, so there's a chance that I've just missed it here. But you can see that stone continues to fly downrange just fine. And it looks like 3,000 feet or meters is going to be right about the end of that thing's range. So you get this far out, and that's where it stops. So that's actually good. It shows that you don't have unlimited range, and there is a limitation to just how much damage you can do with this thing. So you're not going to be sneaking up on somebody from entirely too far away and being able to blast them whenever there's absolutely nothing they can do about it. So let's go back to the ship and see how you can actually defend against it if you've built your own gravity cannon. So I'm going to try and get in there without getting blasted by the stone. Yeah. Okay. Oh, got tapped. And a minute. Okay. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Now, theoretically, there should be a defense that you have against this. So what we'll do is we'll come out. We'll make ourselves a copy of it. And then come out here and place another one. Turn around and face that to the first one. I guess we can line it up later. We're just going to leave this one on and running. So you can see this one actually has all of the gravity generators still going. So in theory, when you lob these at that one, those gravity generators should negate the power of that gravity that's coming at it. So we're going to aim it, back up a little bit, and fire away. So let's see what's happening downrange. You can see those stones are just bouncing off. They just can't reach this one. In fact, if nothing else, they're diverting it back at the other ship, which of course can't do anything to that one either, but it also makes a very dangerous area to fly through here. So imagine if you had two of these things built, and you could just create a hazardous asteroid zone that people couldn't pass through. So that's the stone shotgun, I'm calling it, and kind of a David and Goliath here. You can use a little ship to throw rocks at a big ship. And it gives you a use for all that stone, as well as a really expensive thing to build in survival mode that would really just give you an edge on a very large map with a lot of players. So that's what I've got, and leave comments if you like or have constructive criticism.